In this cowboy's opinion, horseback is the best way to see the West. But of course, not the only way. Just ahead, we'll take a side-by-side up a mountain to a place where the high plains drifter would feel right at home, the authentic Wyoming ghost town of Kirwin. Kirwin, Wyoming, founded in 1885, celebrating the 4th of July in 1905. But less than 2 years later, the mining town's 200 residents started packing up to leave after a massive avalanche roared down from the nearby 12,000-foot mountain peak, killing 3 people and destroying a good chunk of the town.
Oh, it's a cool spot. Got a lot of history here for sure.
But those hardy souls who braved winter to search for gold here in the high country left behind an intriguing ghost town with lots to see, including the moose that call this neighborhood home.
I like the remoteness of it, I guess, and then the history too.
As cool as it is to see this place,
my first time.
You're in for an adventure then, huh?
Oh yeah.
I'm ready for an adventure.
the real adventure is getting here.
Okay, you want to go look at the machine?
Which begins back in the Old West town of Meeteetse, where Butch Cassidy was once arrested for stealing horses in 1894.
I actually don't like chocolate. I love his.
Today the town is famous for its cowboy chocolatier. And across the street,
we come get you if there's a problem.
Tom Nave will rent you all the horsepower you need for the 2-hour ride up the mountain.
Okay, these are very, very simple machines.
A 6-seat Yamaha Viking.
And you have to have your seat belt fastened or it will only go 14 miles an hour. Jackets, I have blankets.
Equipped with all the supplies you could possibly need for the journey.
Right past the bridge, there's a turning lane.
Never driven yourself to Kirwin?
And it's the only turning lane within 30 miles.
Join the crowd. And don't worry, Tom provides the maps and everything you need.
Emergency ponchos should you get some weather.
Including satellite communication gear in the rare event you need help.
2 hours to get to Kirwin.
Okay. And we're taking off on a great adventure. After making one last stop in town.
A little bear spray. We're not going to need it, but you never know. We just might.
Bear are, of course, up there on the mountain. We won't see any today, but along with the moose, you're likely to see pronghorn antelope, deer, elk, and a herd of buffalo. The landscape is ever-changing, from gentle ranch land that gives way to increasingly rugged terrain. And once you cross the border into the national forest, the road and the ride get considerably rougher. But hey, it's just part of the adventure. Tom's operation is a bit like a dude ranch in that he provides access to this beautiful backcountry that relatively few people would otherwise get to see.
God created the handiwork. I provide a simple mode of transportation to get people out into God's great outdoors where the West is still the West out here.
It is quite a spectacular scenic drive.
While we zip up to Kirwin in a couple of hours,
It just keeps getting better and better.
everything in that ghost town, except for perhaps the lumber they cut, had to be hauled up by wagon or mule, up a steep and rocky grade, through all kinds of weather. These were tough people. And imagine spending the winters 100 years ago here in Wyoming at 9,000 feet. Today, all we have to do is enjoy the ride and the beautiful scenery, which Amelia Earhart enjoyed as well. In the 1930s, years after Kirwin was abandoned, tourists came up the mountain to vacation at the Double D Dude Ranch, just a few miles from Kirwin. In the summer of 1937, before she vanished flying across the Pacific, Amelia began building her own cabin at the Double D, which was never finished. You can still see the log foundation today. And like Kirwin, the Double D today is itself a ghost town. But there's lots of life on the road to get there, even a little traffic on a rare occasion. Along with light vehicles like ours are 4-wheel drive pickup trucks. This is a fun, quick and easy way to see a lot of spectacular country in a cool ghost town of the Old West. And if you can drive a car or sit in a seat, you can do it too.
My favorite part is easily described as the joy that I see in people's faces. They're just totally amazed at how much fun it is.
Thanks to Tom.